Hello, I'm Debbie Bell Hosking for Finextra TV here at Sibos 2023 in Toronto, and I'm joined by John Hunter of Wells Fargo. We're chatting about the future of cross-border payments. So, John, a very, very big welcome to the Finextra TV studio.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, it is exciting today. The topics already discussed have been fantastic. We're talking about the future of cross-border payments. And of course, we're seeing so much change.
Absolutely.
Most likely due to the shift of customer and client demands and experiences and expectations. What trends are you seeing right now, and are they actually meeting the customer expectations?
Sure. You know, the world is changing, right? Payments are not the same now as they were 10 years ago, and they're not going to be the same in 2 years as they are now. Like, the world is definitely moving forward. There's definitely a feeling of the need for us to accelerate payments, right? This idea of faster payments, real-time payments, instant payments, partnered with instant data, right? Instant information, right? Becomes a real valuable thing for clients. And the client expectation is that these things can be done with their bank, right, in payments, right? And if you think about real time, it's also going to drive the need for things like real-time reconciliation, real-time fraud control, real-time safety and security wrapped around a payment experience. So it's fundamentally going to shift the way that many of our payments are made.
And the words, I mean, it's almost like each category needs either the prefix instant or real time before it, just listening to you now.
That's right. It's right. It's such a trend, right? And it really is going to have an impact on the business.
So let's chat back to those customer experiences. Why is it so important to work towards customer expectations and experience? And what does a good customer experience look like?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic question because, again, it's moving, right? And it's a little bit of a moving target, right? We have to remove friction from the existing payment systems. Like today, you know, if you send a payment and it goes straight through, that's fantastic and meets client expectation, but if it stops for some reason, right? So the ability for us to use things like AI and machine learning to speed the process up of addressing payments that are maybe misformatted or not correctly kind of sent through the system, so we can address that kind of up front, right? Things like pre-validation, our ability to look at a payment and say, yeah, this is absolutely formatted correctly, and we understand who the beneficiary is, like we know that that's a good valid account, okay, let it go. Like the ability to push all of that up front is going to take friction out of the network. And so those things are alive now, and people are using them, and they're actually adding a ton of value to the platform. So institutions that want to be in the payments business have to be able to kind of begin to remove that friction out of the system.
Right, so we're talking about instant real time, removing friction. We can add to that list.
That's right.
So what new models are being tested right now? I believe there are some. Can you highlight some of them for us? And also, are they going far enough yet?
Yeah, and there's a lot of new networks that are being delivered and kind of, worked on from a proof of concept perspective. We have things like RLN, things like IXB, right, that are really good solutions and have great thoughts around them, and the technology actually works. Like, this is not a technology problem. Like, solving cross-border payments is not a technology issue. It's more of a making sure that we can have the payment align really well with all of the regulatory use cases for every hop that payment may make. And it's disparate, right? So each segment or each country that it goes in may have a very different regulatory schema that it has to meet. So when we're doing cross-border and it may hop through 1 or 2 or 3 different countries, we have to meet all of those regulatory requirements, right? So the ability for us to use some of these new platforms and some of the new technology is also behooves us to work on standardization, like from a payment formatting perspective, from a regulatory perspective, from an oversight perspective, to be able to come up with a more consistent way of managing payments cross-border.
So standardization is another word we can add to our ongoing list.
That's right.
What about partnerships? How critical are they?
Oh, partnerships. So the heart of cross-border payments is correspondent banking. And the heart of correspondent banking is partnerships. Like, it's really all about creating the right relationships on the other side. So we as a bank like Wells Fargo, like, we're not going to have a branch in every offshore location, right? We may not have a branch in Thailand, and if you want to make money to payment into Thailand, we leverage our partners in region to be able to make that transaction. And so as an industry, we have a broad network of partnership that allows ubiquity, right? As opposed to some of the other fintechs and other things that are really closed loop networks, right? We can reach everyone through this kind of network of partnerships that we have in correspondent banking. So partnership becomes key. Then also the ability to leverage partners to deliver and drive value-added services that wrap around the payment experience is just super important. Because our clients not only want real-time and instant and, they also want value, right? They need insights and information, right? And all of that can be delivered, not all of it has to be built by us, right? It can be built through partners as well. So as we work with our correspondent banking partners in the industry to kind of resolve friction and make the process simpler, and then we partner with innovative firms and to deliver more value add that wraps around the payment, we're really going to be able to affect, the client experience.
That's been really interesting. And while you were talking, I was thinking, what was our list? So we had instant, we had real time, we had less friction, we had partnerships.
Yep, and new networks.
And new networks.
Right, standardization. Yep.
Oh, thank you, John. That's been really interesting. And cross-border payments, I think we can have so many discussions about this. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I love cross-border payments.
I can tell.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.